Oh, I think I'm in business.
Just got a notification.
Okay. I think I am live.
That says offline.
Okay. Oh. Think we're good? Mine's still loading.
Yeah, it says offline.
Am I here? Am I here?
There you are.
Yeah? Hello, test. I don't even see it on here. Hi. Hi, Derek. Okay. Okay, cool. Hi, everyone. Heather here, vlogger, creator, and entrepreneur, and I'm documenting my journey in building Sharespark Media. Today is going to be an impromptu live stream episode of just, I don't know, it's just an impromptu live stream. And it's inspired by a conversation I recently had about entrepreneurship, specifically about my entrepreneurial journey. And, you know, I've been getting back into listening to Gary Vee and other entrepreneur talks. And it's funny because us entrepreneurs, we know that entrepreneurship is hard and it's not for everybody. It's definitely, there's a lot of benefits to it. There's definitely nothing else I'd rather be doing. It's very hard for me to imagine myself becoming an employee again, just because I love being able to pursue my passion. I love the freedom that comes with it. There's also this very stressful, unpredictable, uncertain side of it that just comes with the territory. But like, to me, that's like being alive is that. I like that it's not a set path. But there's good entrepreneurs and there's bad entrepreneurs. And I try to share my story as accurately as possible. I try to show not only the wins, but also the times where I'm struggling, because, you know, not only for me to look back on, but I want people to know like what this journey's been like, so that when Sharespark makes it, everyone can see how it was built. But for the first time in my life, I have someone who can actually say what it truly is like. Because even if you were to ask me on the spot, like, what's entrepreneurship like? You know, I have a tendency to, like, I have selective memory. I have a tendency to remember the good things and then just kind of forget the bad things. So for the first time in my life, I have someone who's actually able to observe me go through my cycles of like ups and downs and, you know, feeling super anxious, but then overcoming that and then taking an idea, you know, literally from my brain to execution, and then that entire, like everything that goes into that. And so on this show today, I wanted to invite that person to just ask him some questions about how I am as an entrepreneur and like what he's been able to learn about entrepreneurship based off of observing me. And obviously, if you don't know who that is, it's Mr. Tom Buck, my boyfriend. Here he is. Yay!
Shocking.
And yeah. Oh, hello there, darling. How are you?
Sorry. Hello. How are you? It's been so long.
So if you don't know who this is Tom, the love of my life. He's also my business partner. Go check him out on YouTube. He has his own channel. It's The Enthusiasm Project. Link in the description below. But
It's dope.
it's dope. But on today's live stream, I like with all things on my channel, I want to create a structure on all the content I put out. And so specifically for this episode, we want to focus on how I am as an entrepreneur, what it's like for my entrepreneur life, and some feedback. That's, I think, one of the things that Tom and I really value about our relationship is that, you know, we're very open about feedback, whether it's positive or negative. We're great at communication, and we truly value each other's perspective and opinion. So that's why it makes it very easy to hear both like positive feedback and constructive criticism. But it's so crazy to be able to have someone who could say, like, I don't have to explain like how hard it is. I don't even have to say it's hard, because he sees the hard parts, the good parts, you know, he sees it all. And so I have a couple questions for you, Tom.
I wasn't listening. What?
What were you thinking about?
I'm kidding. Never mind.
Hi everybody, and then obviously we're gonna tune in to the comments. So leave your comments, ask your questions, chime in. Fukum, hi, SoundCloud rappers, hey, Lou T, ADHD and entrepreneurship is hard, especially if you're random and be in a relationship. Woohoo.
Give some tips, girl.
Give us some tips, chat people. All right, here we go. So first of all, Tom, you've been an employee for pretty much all of your life. Have you been an entrepreneur at any point?
Well, no. I don't know. See, we're just going to start right into it. I feel that sometimes you can use employee as a derogatory term.
No,
so I don't know how to
no.
answer that question.
No, I definitely don't think it's I don't think it's derogatory at all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've always had jobs that were not my own business.
Yeah. I mean it. I literally mean it.
I mean, like unless you count when I used to do yard work so I could earn money to buy new watches when I was in the 6th grade.
That's entrepreneurship.
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, when I say employee, I definitely I am not saying that I'm all righteous because I'm an entrepreneur. I definitely, I miss a lot of things about being an employee, but I don't think that one is above the other. But have you learned anything about entrepreneurship, or like how is it different from what you thought now that you've been able to observe or like even collaborate with an aspiring entrepreneur?
So, okay, even though I've never been an official, I don't know, a certified entrepreneur, I have always had, because this was like, I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit where, as in, I want to make my own stuff, be in charge of my own things. Like, I mean, you know, from the age of 11 when my friend and I tried to start a production company where, like, you know, we even had like an equipment checklist where you had to like check out cameras to things, and, you know, then to try to start bands and like little like media companies in high school to starting different organizations throughout college, to, you know, doing some freelance work as like photography, graphic design, those kinds of things. So I think that spirit is very much there. The big difference is, you know, when you're doing it as a side job or it's something that's just for fun and there's no real consequence, that is one thing. But when you're just straight up, like, that is how you feed yourself and support yourself, and that is live or die by it, it's a very different sort of pressure. That it's just a very different sort of pressure. And so what I've noticed is, even though you and I, like, you know, we have so many of the same passions and care about so many of the same things, and do, like, you know, we both have our own YouTube channels where we like to make stuff and share things, but there's definitely a different pressure that's just sort of like a constant undertone for you versus for me. And that just means the way you approach everything is approached differently. From, you know, posting on social media to how you spend your evenings to finance to everything is approached very differently.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that answered the question.
No, it does. But really quick, this is just a side conversation between me and Tom right now. Okay. I'm just not gonna pause it. Sorry. But can we work on like the eye contact? Because me noticing you not doing it is making me think, oh, I should do it too. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about you.
Yeah, because like we kicked off Sharespark TV again. Oh, I thought I had told you this because I recorded a vlog, but I haven't uploaded it yet. So, but we kicked off Sharespark TV again, and we were just last night thinking about ways to make it better. And one of the ways is to like try to maintain eye contact with the camera. For some reason, we do that as vloggers, but it's like a lot harder.
Well, when it's a one-on-one thing, it's easy because who else are you talking to? But when it becomes like a triple conversation.
Yeah, but
you never. But when I make points, I just tend to look off.
I know, me too.
Just because I'm like thinking.
I love to look at this poster. I don't know why.
Yeah, I just look that way, but I'll look at you because that's the polite thing to do, and I want to be a polite person.
Okay, really quick. SoundCloud rappers. What do you miss about being an employee, and how does that compare to being an entrepreneur? God, that's
this is interesting question. Because you have sometimes very rough days in entrepreneur land, and sometimes you'll say things about how you miss the employee world, but then you'll never not snap back to, I would never trade it in for anything in the world.
No.
So talk about that.
No. So here's what I miss about employee life. I love that, mind you, the last position I was at was like at a director position. So I was pretty high up, as in like my decisions really impacted a lot of people. That's why I say it that way. But what I miss is that even despite my rank, I guess, in the hierarchy, nothing, no decision, no project, nothing I had to do ever felt like life or death the way that even deciding whether to post something on Instagram does today. Like straight up, it's been on my list like all day, post on Instagram, but then I know I have to write a thoughtful description, so that's going to take some time. Then I got to research hashtags, and like it has to be perfect, and then, you know, and then I just feel guilty because I haven't done it yet. There's pressure with everything as an entrepreneur, every single thing, even the little tiny things from like, did you put the receipts in the, you know, has to reconcile Ziploc bag, like everything matters because you're wearing every hat. As an employee, you don't wear every hat. You have a very, like, it's a job description, and you just do your job every day, and there's no obligation to work beyond your designated hours that are on the paper, you know? And with entrepreneurship, it's unrealistic to work 24/7, but it's so hard not to feel like, God, I could be doing so many things. Like, there's always something to be done because you are wearing every hat. That, like, you know, you at the very least, you need probably 5 different jobs, like the CEO, the finance person, you know, the marketer person, the like admin person. You're all of those people. Now, you know, multiply that 8 hours a day times 5 days a week. Like, you need to do all of that. I definitely miss that as an employee, to be able to leave on a Friday and be like, wow, weekend, like, what a beautiful thing that I don't have to think about work. You know, oh God, I really miss that. I miss certainty. My last job was also at a school. Everything was predictable. Every single thing. You knew exactly what you would be doing 7 months, like, down the line, just because everything just rotated around the school year. That was nice. Those are probably the biggest things. And then also, like, I would never do a bad job, but I know that even my, like, so-so job was still awesome compared to, like, anyone else who could be doing my jobs. So I miss the guaranteed paycheck, even if I, like, worked at my 50%. Like, my bare minimum was still awesome. So my job, in terms of, like, my performance, was never jeopardized. And it's like, I always, no matter what, every 2 weeks, bam, paycheck, you know. And as an entrepreneur, you gotta not only do the job, but you gotta get the clients, and also try to build this movement that's, you know, changing lives, and, you know, respond to YouTube comments and do all these things. And it's crazy. It's just crazy. But like Tom said, I just wouldn't trade it for anything, because, like, here's what I don't miss about being an employee is pretty much everything but, like, the opposite. So I hated the fact that, like, I had to do things that I felt like were stupid. Like, straight up, they're just stupid. Like, I didn't understand why we were doing certain things, but it's like we were doing them just because that's the way that it had always been done. And it was so inefficient. And I would try to pitch, like, look, if we just changed the operations to do this, this, and this, yes, there would be a learning curve that involved multiple people, but it would literally save time on everybody's part and would make lives easier. And it's just like, it's so hard to get people to agree on something, especially when everyone else is not entrepreneurial spirited or entrepreneurial minded, and all they want to do is show up, get the paycheck, and leave. Like, oh God, that's so frustrating to deal with, because, like, I was always inclined to do a really good job, regardless of, like, whether that mattered I was going to get a raise or not. That's just how I am. So that was really frustrating. I've also had very frustrating bosses I probably shouldn't be saying that, but
what are they gonna do? Fire you? I don't know.
It's just the truth. Like, oh my god, man, oh man, yeah. And I am really glad that I don't have to work. Work was stressful to the point where it really took a toll on my self-esteem, and it made me question whether I was good at something. Like, I had a boss tell me I didn't know the basics of marketing. Straight up. Like, no, it didn't offer any, like, constructive feedback. It wasn't like, hey, you know, this is how you could have done this better. It just was straight up like, you don't know the basics of marketing, which, you know, the CEO, the board of directors, every single person at that organization would have disagreed with. It just specifically was my supervisor at that time who just, I don't know. But like, I've never had to feel like I wasn't awesome ever. Like, I feel like a badass 24/7. I really do feel like even on the bad days that I'm like superwoman, just because I can't believe I know I could be doing more, but I still can't believe that I've done as much as I could. Like, the fact that I'm still here 2 years later is like nuts. It's just crazy. So anyway, that was a very long, I'm sorry.
I don't remember what the question was, but it was the question here, but you have more also follow-up, in-depth, good questions.
Lou T says, Heather, do you wake up early? LOL. I don't sleep.
That's a separate problem.
That's a whole separate thing. I have major insomnia. Tom and I have been trying to get to the bottom of it. I really don't know what it is, so I don't know. But, you know, when things were good, Tom wakes up at 5 because he's a teacher, so he has to be at school at 6. And I for a good time, we were waking up at the same time, and it was great because I actually felt like I was getting a lot done before, like on East Coast time, because that's there 8 a.m. And like when you're on Twitter at 5 a.m., God, there's so much going on because like East Coast is all up in there. But it's a mess now. SoundCloud rappers, do you advise to take out loans? Is it necessary? I advise to not take out loans. Well, actually, I don't know what I advise because I've never taken out a loan except for my car. But the less that you have to, like, owe back to anybody is better, in my opinion. To
quote one of my favorite podcasts, YouTube channels, The Minimalist. There's no such thing as good debt. Yeah. I say this as someone who has, you know, car and mortgage, which are things that I like and value, but there's no such thing as good debt.
Like,
really is not.
At least for my business, since most of it is online and digital, I didn't have to really invest anything. Like, if you're trying to open a brick and mortar, then I think you probably have to get a loan because you have to get the space and do some, you know, equipment upgrades and stuff. But like, I never wanted to do that. And so
I really like this next question that Andrew Williams, who is very tactfully not going by Andy Williams. Sorry. Do you think that when you reach your peak, you will look back and realize you didn't enjoy the journey enough? I feel like that's a big issue for entrepreneurs.
Oh, wow.
You become obsessed with reaching your goals, that you become blind to what is going on around you. That is something I have a big problem with. That's almost like the discussion that prompted this live stream.
Okay. Well, okay. I want you to answer this as how I introduced you, because you've been able to witness this. But let's see. Do you think that when you reach your peak, you will look back and realize you didn't enjoy the journey enough? I want to say I don't think so, because even I'm not at a peak, okay? But even now, looking back at the 2 years, like, there was definitely some downs, but every single day I go to bed thinking, like, be proud that you took that first step. That was the hardest part. The hardest part was to make the decision to quit my job and just be like, peace, guys. I'm going to just pave my own path. I don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know. I'm just going to try. And like, I'm just so proud of that and everything that has come from that. There's probably, this is why I'm interested to hear what Tom has to say, because I'm sure that I don't enjoy it enough. I don't know. I feel like I do.
Actually, I was going to say, I think you're very good at being in the present. I think that you're...
Okay, go.
Because you feel the successes and you feel the failures, or even if it's not a failure, if something didn't go the way, like you very much feel whatever is happening in the moment. And I mean, every day really is like, you get a lot out of every day. Like, I think that you're doing a good job of enjoying the journey and like respecting the journey. I think that is a big issue. I don't think that's just a big issue for entrepreneurs. I think it's a big issue for everybody. Where
everyone. Like,
I mean, literally, like, you want to talk employee life. It's Monday. It's Monday morning, and you walk by, you know, coworkers or whatever, and they're like, 5 more days till Friday, and it's like, seriously, you're just wishing away 5 days of your life.
Yeah, like see, that's exactly what I don't miss.
Yeah, but that's not like.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with employer entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's attitude.
Yeah.
But I mean, but that kind of thing of like, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, that.
SoundCloud rapper is spicy.
Spicy.
Okay, so I have some questions for Tom, just because again, like, Tom's, for the first time in my life, there's someone who's been able to observe what I go through, and it is just so bizarre because there's a lot of things that I didn't even realize that I do, or I didn't realize, like, the way that I think, because obviously who's there to hear my thoughts at the wee hours of the morning, and, you know, how I get from a seed of an idea all the way to this completely other different idea, but that was born from that. All of these things, there's just literally, there was no way for me to explain this either in a vlog or to another person, but because we live together, he just sees it. So my first question, what do you think I struggle with?
Here's the biggest struggle. I don't think this is just you. I think this is probably something that comes with just doing your own thing in life, which is you're so just stuck in it all the time. For better or worse, it's very hard to escape it. And even like, you know, me personally, my job is minimum 50 hours a week. Today was a 13-hour day. This is the first thing we've done together, but it's like my 5th live stream I've been part of today or something with video. Like, it's been, you know, just pure insanity. That's not unusual. And, you know, for me, having 50, 60, sometimes even 70-hour work weeks is not unusual. Coming home and swimming in your work is not unusual. But there's just the psychological part of like leaving home, going to a place, that place is work, it's for work, and then when you leave, yeah, maybe you do still do work, or maybe you're doing something work related, but there's a psychological, I have left work now, you know, maybe I can disengage from work mode, whereas, you know, that I think is something that you struggle with, because if you wake up at 2 a.m. and you can't sleep, well, why shouldn't I be doing work?
Yeah, totally.
Which I don't have that thought. Yeah. So I mean, like,
you're right.
That is something that not disengagement from work, but that ability to separate yourself and have your time. You were even talking yesterday where you're like, I really want to read my favorite book again, but I feel guilty of taking 15-20 minutes a night to just read a book because I could be doing something else. And it's like, you know, you'll be better off for spending 15 minutes reading a book, and your movement will be better off, your clients will be better off, your customers will be better off because you took the time to nurture yourself. Even though that's taking away from your business now, it's putting back a lot more into it in the long run.
I do have to say that I think I've gotten a lot better with this, because I am living with Tom, and it's so, you know, Tom is my, like, best friend, my gamer buddy, the love of my life, like, the hottest guy ever. Like, he's everything that, like, brings me joy. And so it's like irresistible to, like, not see you and want to, like, do something fun. Before, when I was alone, I would literally go to sleep with my laptop and my notebook as my bed buddies, like, every single night. And every night I would wake up and just start editing, you know. So I don't do that now. I do if I can't sleep. That's different. If I can't sleep, then I go out into the living room.
Yeah, I found you 2 days ago. You were passed out on the couch with your lap. Like, it was like a crime scene. It was like you, like, face down and, like, laptop and phone and, like.
Yeah. It was campaign launch week.
But I don't think that's an uncommon thing, but I think that is a struggle, and I think anyone who's ever done anything on their own probably has to work and figure that out.
This is kind of similar, but what do you think I could do better?
Give yourself credit for your successes, like, because you can't speaking of enjoying the journey, you can't, your big thing for so long was to like launch this campaign for your course,
ZeroToYouTubeHero.com. Go check it out.
Yes.
Sorry.
Which is huge, and the components that go into that, because you can't just throw that out there and say like it's a thing, but it has to actually be a thing in order for you to do that. And so there's a million different components that have to come together, and you did that, and you did such a great job at it. And then I think the very next day you're almost in a panic attack because you were like, I'm not doing enough, and I'm like, you took no time to celebrate your victory, a massive victory, and not only celebrate it, but to give yourself credit for like. That is a concrete result. That's not like, I feel better about myself today. That's like, this thing is out there in the world for people to engage with now.
So here's the difference between employee and entrepreneur, okay? Like Tom said, I had this Zero to YouTube Hero launch campaign that kicked off this week. I spent night and day literally on this launch, okay? And my instinct is to be like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing enough. If you were an employee, you finish a campaign, you go home, or you wait until the next work day and then you do week 2, whatever. For me, how could I not be like, okay, my goal is 1,250 subscribers. I'm at 128. I have 6 weeks to go. I have to get 1,000 more subscribers to meet my goal in 6 weeks. Like, how many subscribers is that a week?
You're talking about subscribers to the newsletter.
To the mailing list.
To the mailing list.
Yeah. And that's just what I'm thinking. I'm just like, yeah, okay, awesome. High five me for doing this. But now, like, I only got 20 new subscribers this past week. That ain't gonna fly for the next 6 weeks, So I know I gotta celebrate, but
you do. Because, yeah, whatever. I want to go into these questions.
Okay. Let's
because these are such good questions.
Manifested Muse just found you tonight. Awesome. Hi, Manifested Muse. Lou T. I was lucky to work for great bosses in Bloomingdale's, Macy's, and so on. Had record-breaking sales, but still got fired for being late 5 to 10 minutes, 1 too many times, and didn't care. That sucks. My question is entrepreneurship the only answer ever, even when you're broke figuring it out?
Essentially, like, it almost sounds like, is it a luxury to be able to be an entrepreneur, or is it something that, anybody could do at any time?
Like, if you're being late 5 to 10 minutes, 1 too many times, my inclination is to tell you that I don't think entrepreneurship is for you, because yes, you have the luxury and the luxury of freedom to be able to work whenever you want. So there is no such thing as being late. You have to stick to schedules. You need goals that need to be made or need to be set. Otherwise, like, you'll just float away. Like, no money's gonna come in. And the goal as an entrepreneur is to scale. Like, you want to scale. Otherwise you're just a freelancer. You know how much money you need to make every month. You go get the clients and you go make the money. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, you're talking scale. You want passive income. You want your money to make more money. And then to build in that way really requires discipline and hard work. So I don't think that entrepreneurship should kind of like be the only answer to anything. I think it should be a passion that you want to pursue.
Passion mixed with aptitude as well. Like,
this is a teacher. Aptitude.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm passionate about the drums. I will never be a
See, I disagree with that. That's a bad example because he's so good. Are you kidding? SoundCloud Rappers is saying, thoughts on Amazon, Jeff Bezos. I actually don't know a lot about him. for some reason.
I know that 20 years ago he was a scrawny little nerdy guy who was selling books on the internet, and now he's like this ripped dude who's the richest guy in the world. So I don't know.
Restore chat here.
I was just looking at a thingy.
So that way you can see.
Sorry.
The count, right? Because that's what you're looking at.
I was just curious. I just want to make sure it's still actually going.
I don't know. Where'd you guys go?
I mean, I don't know what specific kind of thoughts you're looking on. I don't know if there was something in the news today or recently about Amazon and Jeff, but...
Yeah, I don't know why, but for some reason, like, I don't know much about him. I don't even... Like, I know, like, Elon Musk, he's super active on social media, so I know a lot about him. I don't know if Jeff is, or I just haven't come across his stuff, but for some reason, he's, like, the biggest entrepreneur, and I know about him the least. Richard Branson, I follow... you know, Gary Vee, other people, but I don't really have any thoughts on... Oh, I follow the Zucks.
Oh, here we go. Amazon is in danger. Proxlime says Amazon is in danger for the future. It's becoming a monopoly. Is a danger for the future.
Really quick, Manifested Muse. We are always looking for balance, as with all things in life. Proxlime, hi!
What's up?
SoundCloud rappers, do you get motivation from that? From what?
From...
Do you get motivation from that?
Others, from Amazon, from...
From, like, other entrepreneurs? Clarify. Prox, Amazon in danger for the future. It's becoming a monopoly. SoundCloud rappers, yes, Jeff treats his employees like slaves.
Yes, so this is what little bit I know, which is... from what I know about Jeff, his strength as a leader and an entrepreneur is his ability to, like, it's almost like supply chain management. Like, he knows how to smash all the pieces together to be as efficient as possible. With no, that does not mean anything in terms of human quality of life. Where, for example, I know Gabe Newell, who runs like Steam.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, I was just reading.
I love that man.
I was just reading the other day. There was an employee who got like cancer, some kind of horrible illness. It was really freaked out because they couldn't go to work and stuff. And he was like, "Okay, here we go. Your official job description at Steam is to get better. That is your job with full salary, pay, and benefits. Go do that. That's what you're here to do." That is not something that Amazon would do. They'd be like, bye. Like,
I remember when I discovered Gabe Newell, I was like, I want to run my company like he runs Valve.
And that is very different. And that, so Amazon is in danger of becoming a monopoly. I know we're veering off like our topic here, but this is sort of interesting because it's about your philosophy as a leader and entrepreneur, which is very important. Because I think I would know what part of the spectrum you fall on. But so his is just kind of ruthless. Like business, it's business at its finest, and you see that on Amazon,
like humanized robots.
Yeah, it's sure. Amazon started selling books, but if you want to sell, a 48-gallon barrel of lube, like, cool, we'll sell that too. We don't care. Like, we will sell it all. We will deliver it as efficiently as possible. And if people who work for us don't want to fall in line with that, there are so many other people that want to work for us. Yeah. Like, it does not matter. Whereas, someone like Gabe, who's doing that who's paying his employees to get better from an illness, they are not going to make the profits. He's not going to be the richest man in the world. But it also reminds me of Dave Chappelle, which we talked about when he quit Chappelle's show back in like 2005. He had something like $10 million, $20 million, and had been offered like $100 million to keep going. And the show was so popular, but he was under so much stress. There was so much pressure to make good that he just said no, walked away, and like left show business for like 10 years. And in an interview I heard with him, he was saying that people criticized him, like, you turned down $100 million. And he's like, yeah, but I had like $20 million. Like, I know it sounds like a lot, but there's, in terms of my life, there's no difference between having 20 million and $100 million. Like, it's not actually going to affect anything, even though it sounds completely insane. So it became about quality of life. And that's where, there are those companies that make that decision. Do they value people? Do they value profits? I think that's where Elon Musk is really interesting, because I don't think Jeff Bezos has anywhere near like the vision of someone like Elon Musk, who's like a genuine futurist, who's like, this is what we could do. How do we get there and do it and try everything? I don't think that's I think it's the same thing that's going on with GoPro right now, which I was like, what's his face? Nick Woody, who runs GoPro. GoPro's basically out of business. They're like going bankrupt and up for sale. That. Yeah. Because he is this crazy, he's kind of like Jeff Bezos. It's sort of the same thing, but Jeff is significantly more successful at it, where he's just this great marketer, understands great supply, but doesn't understand, GoPro started making a drone in 2016 when DJI was making drones that fit GoPro mounts in 2011 or 2012. And GoPro didn't go, you know what? This flying camera thing might be popular.
That's one thing I've learned as an entrepreneur, not from my own experience, but because I study entrepreneurs and like try to, learn from them. But you should always, 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 always try to be your own competition. Yeah. Like you always need to figure out, you always have to see everything as if everyone's trying to beat you, So if there is a way that, I don't have to worry about this for a while, but like if you have to like acquire another company or whatever, or you got to switch gears, or, you just always have to think of like 5-10 years.
Well, that's where then you look at somewhere like Apple, which of course just has like boatloads of money, but there's always like once or twice a week there's a story in the news of Apple acquiring some bizarre little company that does some weird thing, and you're like, what? Yeah. And then 2 years later they come out with a product that has facial recognition, or whatever kind of next level thing gets incorporated, sapphire crystal displays or whatever, and you're like, oh, that's why they bought that company. But no one was thinking about that then, so it kind of got off track. But I think in terms of what we think about those people, I personally, just as a person, value the vision. That's to say, I freaking love Amazon. I use everything all the time. I use Amazon all the time. Like, I think it's fantastic, but it's definitely not like for the good of humanity. Whereas, I do really appreciate entrepreneurs and companies that can still maintain a value on humanity even with success.
Like, for me, like, I'm not trying, I've made this very clear from the beginning. My thing is people, not profit. Obviously I need to make a profit, but like if I had to choose between $10 million or impacting 10 million people, like I would pick the people, because I don't know, that's what fulfills me. And that's probably why I struggle so much, is because my brain does not optimize for like financial opportunities.
Well, here's a thing where talking about where you could struggle with is you've talked about this, where you have free business meetings that should be like paid consultations all the time, where you're just like,
that's so annoying.
It'd be like a lawyer just kind of handing out legal advice for, let's just sit down for 2 hours and I'll walk you through your court case that you need to go through, and like then you leave and you're like, wait, should I have billed for that?
I know, and it's like I have clients. I love all my clients, first of all, so if you're watching, but I have clients that like they're so business savvy and they understand the value of an entrepreneur's time, where they just throw out the number. Like, I am willing to pay you $250 an hour to coach me on YouTube. And then I have clients that are like, hey, can I take you out for a coffee and pick your brain about YouTube? And it's like, I don't know. I just feel bad for like, okay, 15 minutes are up. Can I start charging you now? I don't know. I can never do that. So that's fine.
I mean, it depends. It all depends on your
philosophy. Basically, like, my thing is that I would never optimize for profit. I don't even think my mind works in a way that people who are more like numerically inclined, I guess, see things. Because for sure, like, this is something I've struggled with since day one. I could very, very easily start a social media marketing agency, just because the demand for social media marketing and content, creation is so high. I've had to literally turn down clients, and I don't know. I don't feel bad about doing that, even though I'd probably be in a way more financially secure position. But
that goes back to the balance too, though, because
of course.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Proc says. Lou T says, "Why do you follow Richard Branson?" I follow Richard Branson because I know he has ADHD. And that's really the only reason why I follow him. and his content, he talks a lot about like values and philosophy, which there's a lot of other entrepreneurs who, like Gary's he does a really good balance of both. But a lot of his content is like tactical heavy and like very like strategies, like actual things that any entrepreneur of any level can implement. And Richard has really good, like, if you're optimistic and you present a problem in an optimistic way, you're likely to get an optimistic answer and, stuff like that. So that's why I follow him. Proc Slime is saying Amazon bans certain books and other content already. Manifested Muse. Dave is an inspiring person. Who's Dave?
Good for Dave.
Good for Dave. Adenless Rafael Pichardo. Hey, mujer. Hello. I always go to my friend Jasmine and ask, because he always has like Spanish words in there. Like, what does mujer mean?
It's like a girl.
Yeah. You have your SEP or simple IRA set up. You're rocking out there. Definitely want to have those things in order. Here for ya. Me dejas saber. I don't know what that means.
I think it's good. This means good.
Yeah. I don't... IRA. What is that?
Independent retirement account?
No. I have one that's there.
It's different from like the retirement that's paid into from your days as an employee.
Oh, okay, no.
It's something you have to actively set up on your own.
No. Do you have one of those?
I asked for one on my 18th birthday, yeah.
This is Tom. Okay, let me tell you about Tom.
Well, because an IRA account, what it is it's you put money into it, you can't take the money out till you're 59 and a half years old. You just cannot touch it. And there's certain limits to how much you can contribute every year, but it's kind of like a sort of like a stock or money market account, sort of. But the returns, especially over like a 40, 30-year period or whatever, can be so great that if you invest heavily at the beginning, by the time you are 59 and a half, you can have a significant chunk, which was why my 12th grade economics teacher was like, if any of you guys actually started one now and like contributed to it regularly, by the time you're 60 and you take your money out of it, you'll have well over $1 million just in that, on top of whatever else you do. And I was like, oh, okay. I would like to do that.
I won $1 million.
So I was like, turned 18 and went for it.
Awesome. Proc Slime says there should be anti-monopoly laws.
I believe that there are, right?
I have no
idea. That's what Microsoft was dealing with. That's why like all those communications company mergers where it's like Time Warner wants to merge with Comcast, and it's like they're blocked because we would all be screwed.
Yeah. Lou T says, not a question, but you guys have a friend in Miami. Meet and greet would be an honor, by the way. Aw.
I've never been to Florida.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I've never set foot in the great state of Florida.
Oh. Last time I was there was when I was in college. I went to Walt Disney World.
Yeah, even all Orlando.
Yeah. Optimus Jack, what's up? Rasheen12, great video, new to channel. Awesome, thank you. SoundCloud rappers get money. Manifested Muse, Chappelle, Adanless. Tom, you are on it, brother. I can help Heather. Free consultation. Ooh,
first 15 minutes free.
Yeah. I should probably talk to you. Shoot me an email. Let's connect. Heather@sharesparkmedia.com. And then target anime avatars. No, we ain't safe nowhere. Okay. By the way, I thought you spoke Spanish. Oh yeah, I totally don't. My last name is Ramirez, but I'm Filipino, and I don't speak any other language but English and like my own Heather vocab.
Can you imitate your mom real quick?
Oh, it's so hard.
You do it immediately anytime she calls. If the phone rings and it's her and they go like, hello, then you just like...
It's hard because it's not even like I don't know. It's like, see?
No.
I know, it's weird. I don't know. How are you?
There it is.
How are you?
Because you just, whatever your parents call you, just imitate them back to them. That's always the first half of your conversation. And I'm like, are they offended by this? Or like...
I know, but no. I know that's our thing because I don't know what it is on my parents' phone, but I swear they like can't hear me, and so for like 20 seconds she's like, huh? And I'm like, huh?
It's that tone. It's that tone of voice that like in the throat, like nasally, like. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
like that thing.
Exactly.
It's so funny to me. But when I asked you about that when we first met, and I was like, but Ramirez, because, I live in Southern California. I live in the Coachella Valley. It is 98% Spanish or Hispanic. And I was like, Ramirez, like, what's the deal? And you were like, this Spanish just invaded everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah,
the
they did.
Spaniards invaded
the world. Like,
yeah.
I was like,
so yeah. I am Ramirez, but I'm 100% Filipino. But I was born in Chicago and then moved to SoCal when I was like 1. That is my story. Okay, there's one more question I want to ask you, but then...
Yeah, there's a lot. I was just trying to be informed about some of the other questions that were popping up.
Oh yeah, I got the email. Government shutdown.
Yeah.
Government shutdown begins as senators continue intensive talks into the night. Oh my. Okay. Optimus Jack, government shutdown now official. Adanlis, do you speak Tagalog? I don't speak. I can understand Visayan, which is my family's dialect, but Visayan and Tagalog are so different. Literally, like the Filipino accent is still there, but like to give you an example, cold in my dialect, Visayan, is tugnaw.
Okay. Yep. Checks out.
You're supposed to try to say it, darling.
Oh, what was it?
Tugnaw.
Tugnaw?
Yeah. And then in Tagalog, it's malamig.
Malamig. It's not even the same thing.
Yeah.
It's a different thing.
There you go. You sound like Duarte with that accent. Duarte. I hope I spelled that right. Okay. All right. So the other question, because we're 45 minutes in and I wanted, the content to have a point. So my final question for Tom is, now that you've been able to observe what entrepreneur life is like, at least for my version of it, what do you think it takes to sustain this journey? Because I think it's fair to say, the statistics are there. The odds are against you. You have a 90% chance that you are going to fail.
So the other day we were driving down the street and we were behind this car, and it was this really nice sports car that was turning into a really nice country club and had a personalized license plate. And I was like, oh my God, that's my boss for my very first job.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my very first job was at a coffee shop, a local coffee shop that was just opening up. It was these two guys that quit their jobs. They wanted to do their own thing. They came from the business world, were sick of it. They left coffee. They wanted to start a really high quality coffee shop. This was back in 2002. And it was their first one. It was their opening day. I was the first batch of employees they had hired at their first store, and it was just oh my God, they were doing everything they could to. I mean, the products are great. They were doing everything they could to obey all the laws, but lunch hours and breaks and things. It was messy just getting stuff done. They lived at that store. They were there all the time. You could drive by anytime, day or night, and see the light on. Then I was in high school at the time, so I only worked there for a few months. But then they slowly, I remember that store expanded into the space next to it, so it became bigger after a year or two. Now I believe they have 5 shops. They have their own line of coffees that are sold in local stores. They're the place to go. There's all kinds of events. They became integral to the community. They expand, they're hugely successful, and that was in 2002, it's 2018, and they're just getting bigger and bigger, and clearly it's paid off. The owners do not live at the stores anymore. And so what it is what I think it takes is that understanding of this is going to suck in a big way for a while. And, even the 7-week campaign that you're in the middle of, where you went into it kind of well, I'm not really going to get any kind of rest, or, I'm going to be beaten up for 7 weeks, but it's 7 weeks. And so, you're starting your own business. It's going to be rough for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. I think you need to know that you're not going to look at your entrepreneur idol and be at their level in a year or 6 months or whatever. But you know, maybe in several years, you know, what the average is 5 years to turn a profit. Yeah, so you don't get a paycheck for 5 years. But then once you do, maybe you start. And I think knowing that and not feeling like a failure when you're in that part is really important. And I think it's also important to understand, though, that that is not sustainable. Which I think might be where you struggle, because you want to do it all the time.
My baby.
And there is a point where it's like, I mean, you're still in the building phase, so it is late nights, early everything, you know, it has to be, because otherwise it's not. If you weren't doing that, as much as I hate to see you like in any kind of like pain or like stress or whatever, if you weren't doing that, there's no way you'd be successful right now. But there's a balance that comes with it, and understanding like, if the only way your business or your venture is going to be successful is if you do that indefinitely for the foreseeable future just to skate by, no, that's not a successful endeavor. And I think that's hugely important, to have that willingness to always work your butt off, but to have it, you know, to have it in mind that you have to hit a sustainable model, whatever that means. And if that's, you're Jeff Bezos and you're going to be the richest man in the world because you're just a ruthless, you know, bottom line guy, or if you're Gabe Newell and you're going to follow something you love and like take a hit to your profits because you're caring about your employees and your product or whatever, that's up to you and your philosophy and your vision as a company and an entrepreneur, which is also why it is interesting to go check out like companies you like or organizations you like, go look at their mission statements and see how in line they are with their actions. Fun fact, the worst company's mission statement by far in the world is Albertsons grocery stores. Go look it up. It basically just says we're a store. I'm not even joking. Sorry, Albertsons, great store, terrible mission statement. But then you have stuff like, you know, having that vision and working to realize it is kind of what is needed. Being willing to put in the work, but not.
That's why I am so proud of my mission statement for Sharespark Media, because I feel like I live and breathe it, and I truly see the difference when someone is not Sharesparked and then becomes Sharespark. And every time that happens, I mean, Tom is living proof, and just seeing his YouTube channel grow, even though it's still only at what it is, I have no doubt. I have no doubt he's gonna surpass me in subs and views so fast. Like he's gonna get to where I was faster than I did, for sure. And all the changes, and just to see how, like, you know, how excited, enthusiastic he is to create his content, how he's found his voice, how he's able to help people anywhere about this thing that he's interested in. You know, if you don't know who James Lee is a friend of mine. We met in college. Go check him out on YouTube. James Lee, as in L-E, 1E. But he started a mukbang channel, so all he does is eat. He passed me in subscribers, passed me in channel views.
It's so enjoyable. It's like the weirdest sounding premise.
I know,
it's
but
so
it's like,
charming.
Yeah, and
he's great.
And just to see him go from someone who was not necessarily shy, but like, just to see how much of an impact that he, like, the joy he literally brings to his viewers and how excited they are to watch his videos and interact with him. Like, he wouldn't have had that if not for me Sharesparking him. And God, if I didn't Sharespark myself, I wouldn't have met this one, you know? Right. So, like, because I believe so much in my mission, that's what keeps me going, and it's easy. Like, that part's easy. It's hard when you're, like, stuck in the day-to-day, the grind, all that crap, but I've gotten job offers. You know, I had someone offer me $75,000 full benefits at a startup, actually, and that was kind of interesting because I wanted to be a part of that whole startup culture, but I just, no mission compares to mine. Like, nothing comes close, and it's a really you can have, you know, the paper, but if you don't have, like, a mission that I believe in as much as I do, it's gonna be a really tough sell for me. I forgot why I was talking about this.
We were talking about mission statements, why yours is important.
Oh yeah, so Sharespark Media, the movement to educate and empower people to utilize digital media to achieve meaningful goals. And with that said,
there's some wrap-up ones. Most importantly,
Hold on.
Wait, we gotta go to Prox Lime because this one I laughed.
Okay.
Tom, will you finally make an S-Post account on Twitter? I do have a Twitter account. I don't know if that's what I do with it, but it's at So Darn Tom. Pretty much on all the things, it's at So Darn Tom.
Yeah, go follow. If you're like new to all of this and you're considering building your own YouTube channel or like, you know, online presence, an online audience, whatever, go follow Tom just because he's a really good practical example of someone doing it right.
To be fair though, I really like Instagram a lot more than Twitter. Twitter's hard for me. I don't know why, but I really have fun with Instagram.
He's not following the right people, but
I just the interface. I don't like it. And then, sorry, I have to answer this one. Dude, what's your channel? It's the Enthusiasm Project. So if you just search for on YouTube Enthusiasm Project, there's also a link down in the description below. What do you say? Like, comment, let me know what you think. No, like, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments below.
no, it's
just go watch the videos if you like them. I really hope you like them.
Give this video a thumbs up. Let me know what you think in the comments. And then, what is it? Oh my god, I forgot. I don't know, whatever. Anyway, go check them out.
I made videos. If you like the videos, that's awesome.
There's a link in the description underneath this video.
Yeah, fun. New videos every Tuesday, live stream every Sunday.
But, like, seriously, if you haven't checked out Tom's channel, okay? How many subscribers?
142.
Okay, 142. I have almost 5,000 followers or subscribers, whatever. But do me a favor, if you've never seen his content, go watch a video and come back and tell me about his production value, okay? Because honestly, I have a feeling that you guys would go watch his content and you'd be like, how the hell do you have 5,000 subscribers and you only have 142?
It's about story though. It's not always about production value.
Okay, that's the other digital literacy point. But my point is that you will get to my level.
Thank you.
Very fast and surpass me very quickly. I know that's not the point, but I'm just telling you, if for real.
It is.
Like, he can talk about anything, and it's just, like, just visually, it's so cool how he puts it all together. I mean, first of all, he has way better equipment than I do. He actually uses a legit, not to say that iMovie isn't legit, but he uses Final Cut Pro. It's an actual, like, legit editing program. Yeah. It's just, it's so cool. Anyway.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. That's my entrepreneurial endeavor.
Lou T says, what did he say? He makes great points. Heather, you're a lucky girl.
He's right.
I love you.
Oh.
This is my boy.
Oh. That's also how you talk to the dog.
Dude, what's your channel? Okay. You guys compliment each other really well. We know that. I never believed
it's bizarre. That's been since day one.
Yeah. I never believed in soulmates until, like, we met, and I'm like, what? It's so crazy. It's like, yeah, it's bizarre.
It's bizarre, but it's great.
We can go on and on.
Yeah,
that's a whole
that's
thing.
a separate stream.
Yeah. Optimus Jack, I keep thinking that Heather taught you how to edit, Tom. I forgot you already knew how. Oh, yeah. He's been, like, I always made videos, but he was making videos, like, on a much higher volume since, like, how old were you?
I got into making videos when I was 4. And then my first paid job was at the coffee shop I just talked about. My first job, which was an unpaid job, was at a TV station when I was 15.
He's been making videos since, like, forever. I mean, I was editing videos using 2 VCRs, too.
Yeah. Well, that's just the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I teach digital media, which centers a lot about filmmaking and production and streaming.
But I never, it was just like a very fun thing for me that I occasionally did, but it was a fun thing for him too, but I think
it's all I've ever done.
he's taken it seriously and actually done, like, shows and projects with friends for fun. Like, all of my videos that I made were for school projects. I never made one just for fun. I don't know, I never thought to. I don't know. But
I had to tell my students that today because we have one more day left in the semester and they're in the process of revising projects and some of them are finished and so their grades are like all the way up to where they can be. Their projects are done and they're like, what do we do? And I'm like, look, I'm not going to give you busy work for a day, but you could just make something because it's fun, not because, like, you're getting graded for it. Like, go grab a camera, go film something just for fun. Jeez.
I got Legal Shield. I sold the product on Facebook. People ask me, it's a scam, not real. I have no idea what you're talking about, Jose. Okay. Let's see. SoundCloud rappers found me through Jermaine. Awesome. Jermaine is in Israel right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You told me about that.
Optimus Jack, you got more subscribers, Heather, because you started your channel 100 years before
This
he
is
did.
true.
He knows that. I know that. But that's why I like. If we started at the same time, he would have grown a lot faster.
But
I 100% believe that.
That's I don't. It's not the comparison thing though. I don't know. It's not. It's not. I have 150. You have 5,000. It's not. You have 5,000. Someone else has 1 million. It's just.
But
like,
we know that.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, that's part of it. That's a whole separate conversation. But...
Tune in to Sharespark TV every Thursday on Facebook. Facebook.com/Sharespark Media. Although, we had some viewers asking if we would do it on YouTube.
I'm a big fan of the YouTube, but that's me.
We should try it.
We
have so if you don't know, Tom and I have a show called Sharespark TV for Sharespark Media. It's a weekly live stream about all things digital media.
I've heard it's a show that breaks down like the impact of digital media on news. Pop culture.
So here, we're going to do our intro for you right now. Ready? Set. Hi, I'm Heather.
Just gonna make a stupid joke and then sorry. And I'm Tom.
What?
No, I messed up the timing. Just go with it.
Okay. No, now we're gonna start over because I messed up. I'm Heather.
And I'm Tom.
This is Sharespark TV.
The show that breaks down the impact of digital media on news, pop culture, and the world around you.
And on Sharespark TV is a new Facebook Live show streamed to you live.
Get there, Rusty.
Every Tuesday and Thursday.
I just really wanted you to go, we'll do our intro, and then you're like, I'm Heather. And I'd be like, I'm Heather. And I don't know why I thought that would be really funny. But then I hesitated, paused, had to explain the joke, which is ruining the joke. Anyway,
go check us out. We talked about digital literacy things. We did one last Wednesday talking about the new YouTube policies, which I thought was so funny because I literally just announced the new online course I am putting out about YouTube. But yeah, that's another thing.
It has been so interesting to see the shift in tone towards the new YouTube policies just in the last couple days.
Yeah?
Yeah, because now, at this point, a lot of the larger creators are coming out with their opinions on it. It's interesting.
What have you heard?
The overall emphasis, which is kind of how I felt from the beginning, is if you're a small creator, a couple thousand subscribers or less or whatever, you're not making any money off YouTube. You're making pennies, maybe dollars a month.
That's completely insignificant.
And so that's not why you should be on YouTube in the first place. And by enforcing the new policies, what it's actually doing is now it's taking ad money away from all of those crazy channels that post bizarre things like just re-upload stuff or just those crappy channels that exist to just gain views, gain AdSense, and they're not actually doing anything. And it sort of hopefully evens out that waste so that actual content creators can rise to the top. And then by the time their chops are honed, if they choose to monetize, they're actually, marketable.
Yeah.
Which is a really smart thing to do.
And if you want to learn how you could share your story through YouTube videos and actually hone in on a personal brand, check out my online course, Sharespark Media's online course, Zero to YouTube Hero at zero2youtubehero.com.
She's made money on YouTube. I've only lost money on YouTube.
I have made money on YouTube.
I've only lost money.
On the Sharespark TV episode, I shared how much money I'd made. It was like $1,200 in
almost $1,300 in the last year.
Yeah. It's not that much, and that's even at 5,000 subscribers, so.
You don't get into YouTube for the money, or at least the ad money.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but all my money is from YouTube because all of my clients have come from YouTube.
Yeah,
so I definitely make money because of YouTube, but it's not because of AdSense. It's not because of YouTube ads. So in Zero to YouTube Hero, I will tell you how you can monetize your channel. In addition to AdSense, but you shouldn't be factoring that in anyway. Okay. You rock, everyone. Everyone starts in the beginning. Aaron Watkins. I'm moving to LA area and need to find office space. Your WeWork video is awesome. Thanks. Oh, do you create content for brands? Hi, Erin. Awesome. Thanks for checking out my WeWork video. And I create content for brands. It just depends. So if you're interested, shoot me an email at Heather@Sharespark Media. My contact info is in the description underneath this video. But yes, I do. And Adanlis, I want to take your course. I need that email again. Okay, I'm going to type it in the comments right now, guys. It's Heather@sharesparkmedia.com. And then the course is at 0 to YouTube Hero.
You put an extra dot in there.
Oops.
0 to YouTubeHero.com. It legit is a good course. Like it's obviously I'm biased towards the creator of the course, but I was telling Heather the other day, I mean, if you lived in Connecticut and I told you if you were married and living in Connecticut, I don't know why that's my I came up with, but if there was no chance of us meeting in person, obviously no chance of us
getting together,
being together or anything, and I had just found you, I would still be so engaged and interested in what you're doing, and I would still 100%, even with having a background in having plenty of tech skills, I would still take the course for the YouTube part of it, the marketing part of it, the branding part of it, which is where I sucked. And then you also cover the production part of it and using anything from phone to fancy DSLR.
Yeah.
It's a really well thought out 8-unit course.
I know. I'm so proud of it.
It's good.
I'm so proud of
legit.
it. And I love the fact that I'm getting this guy's seal of approval because, oh my goodness, he's actually a professional teacher. So to have my curriculum, I have never been a teacher before, and to be able to run it by somebody who this is his freaking trade, I feel really cool about that. And he's also happens to be passionate and interested about the freaking course topic. It's so cool.
Well, thank you.
It's so cool. And he's implementing a lot of the strategies. I'm like, oh, have you done this? Have you tagged your videos? SEO.
I've written those strategies. Yeah. I've written my courses. Yeah, because I've written 5 digital media related courses that are career technical and UC approved. So it's it's real stuff.
Yeah.
That's good. And yours would be approved.
Remember how I told you guys I always wanted to write a book? This is it. It's an online interactive book, but that it's going to take just as much editing and writing and all of that. So I'm excited. All right, guys. It's Friday night. It's almost 10 o'clock, and I want to play some video games with Tom, and he's already yawning. So we're going to end it.
Covering up a laugh.
Were you?
It's because I forgot how funny Proc Slime is. And
I know, Proc Slime. You're funny.
I can't. I mean, I know, I can't even.
I'm bringing the Tide Pods for sure. Okay, guys. I'll catch you later. Thanks so much for watching. Check out 0 to YouTube Hero. I'm super excited about it. If you know anyone who might be interested in creating a thriving YouTube channel, whether to share their story, whether to make some money, it's based off my experience. So I'm very excited about it. Go check it out. There's a mailing list. Sign up for it. You'll get the updates. I'm actually opening up the course to people only on the mailing list, and you'll be able to enroll in the course for the lowest price that it'll be at, which is $99. So if you want to enroll in the course for its cheapest price of $99, sign up for the mailing list.
I was just looking for when the enrollment was at the
January 22nd is when it opens up for the mailing list.
That's Monday.
Only. Yeah, Monday. So stay tuned for that email. Sign up for that mailing list. Pass the word along. And yeah, awesome. Thank you, Tom, for being a guest on my channel today.
I'm happy to come all the way down to the studio.
All right. Hit that thumbs up button. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you later. Kat McDonald says, hi, check out these people. Don't go. Okay, we gotta go.
I can't do this.
Live, you're crazy. Okay, bye guys.
Bye,
See ya.
Like button, smash, subscribe, etc.
No, could you do it in full YouTuber mode? Enthusiasm Project has 1 million subscribers.
I've never said that on my channel. I've never said that thing. I've never said that.
What is
before.
Your thing?
My thing is, I always, my videos always end with me going I don't know, I guess it's over now. or yeah. No, but you'd have to be like, because this is what we do at school. This is what, like, if you want to make 10th graders, like, actually cringe, this is what you do. You go like, all right, guys, what's up? Today we're going to talk about digital media. All right, I need you to smash that like button, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I don't know. See, then I just end it. I have to go now and die.
I love you. You know that? You're so funny. He's so funny. Anyway, go check out his channel. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.